Hi there, my name is Chris Desano Davenport, and I have written 3 middle grade children's books, and I've explained in other videos the first one, the second one, and now I'm going to focus on the third one, which is Travel in Between Space with the Little People. Now, this is another Little People adventure. They are a series of books, but they are not in conjunction with one another. You can read them separately without missing a beat. This one is a middle grade novel, basically. That's what I call it. It's really a long story. So the kids will definitely need a bookmark. And it is such an intertwining adventure, and it's a sci-fi, like sci-fi meet fantasy. Okay. These little people are in space this time, and they do meet some visitors, and I'll show you some of the images. Now, in my first 2 books, I also make dolls, and here's one that I kind of did it in remnants of my book. Not exact, but anyway. This one I decided to digitally paint, and it was when I first started learning how to use a digital art program. So, I mean, I did the best I can, but to be honest, my paintings, that's what I am. I'm a painter and I love painting, though you can get good effects with digital work. So, I'm much better since I've written this book, which was in, I think, 2019. Where is the date? Yeah, 2019. And I'm way better at the digital artwork now because I've been doing it all the time. So this one is dedicated to my husband and my brother in memory of him and Timmy. And let me show you some images. Like, these are all digitally done. There they are having their dinner again. And this is the visitors. These are the visitors. And there's a family of foxes in it. Of course, they're going to meet humans, and everyone they meet a human. And his name is Henry. Let's see if there's something I kind of missed here. I mean, this one's big, so, and here's another festival. All right, this is a very long story, so I'm not going to be able to get into the whole thing. I'll show you some of the images. These are goblins. So there's a story about goblins, there's a story about visitors, there's a story about Henry and his family of foxes, his mother and father, and the little people. And all these stories gracefully come together. At least that's my opinion. And Henry finds a telescope, and it's pretty magical. Here's the beings. Now, there's 2 different types of aliens in this book. I showed you the visitors, and these are different ones. These come later in the story, and you'll find out why. I will read you a sort of a synopsis. I don't give away everything, so I can't call it a synopsis, but I'll give you, I can't really call it a synopsis, but I'll give you some information on the story and what it entails. Also, there is, I forgot, a story about Eagle. Eagle's in it. He's their friend. There's also spaceships and UFOs in it. Goblins. And there's some other fairies. Those are fairies of the river. They're traveling. They meet some interdimensional beings. There's healing that takes place. And there is a timeline that intersects with another timeline, and then there's an in-between. And the in-between is where a decision needs to be made. The in-between is where the magic happens. Here's a little fantasy paradise. This is in another dimension, on another planet. That's actually me and my husband. And they meet more intergalactic beings. And the intergalactic beings have very, very good messages for kids that are really enlightening and positive. You'll learn about the story here. There's a lot to talk about, so I can't even really get into that much, except for showing you the pictures. You can see that they capture someone. That is Henry's mother. And that's Henry's father. And here's some, my favorite are doing trees, animated trees, because I really believe in the trees, the spirit of them. It's a raspberry tree, actually mulberry. And the goblins meet the visitors. They're called knocker goblins. And there are legends about the knocker goblins. So what I do is I've read so many fairy stories from all over the world, and I incorporated certain types of legendary fairies and their personalities into my characters. So I did do research on that. And here is Trinity with Fox. Fox has a family too. I can't forget about Eagle. And here's the whole crew. And there's Henry and his best friend, Fox. And here's a bunch of rhymes from all my different books. I put them in the back. Yeah, and that was me with my hubby back in 2019. Okay, I will read you now a little explanation about Travel in Between Space with the Little People. They have a nice introduction on the back too. I should have read that. Anyway, Travel in Between Space with the Little People is book 3. And this book is more of a sci-fi adventure. And the pages are as long as the first 2 books put together, actually. If you see this, I mean, it's about the same. So, all right. So I can only read so much here about it and tell you about it because it's so long. But anyway, this one focuses on Deekadoo, Trinity, and the entire Little People family this time. However, from the beginning, The story starts out with a human boy named Henry as an old man. I forgot to show you that picture. I skipped it at the beginning. There he is. There's Henry and his best friend. That's the beginning of it. Okay. This one focuses on Deekadu and Trinity and the entire Little People family. However, from the beginning of the story, it starts out with a human boy named Henry as an old man. He is sitting at a table with his best friend and old friend Fox, and they're eating soup. He reminisces on his past when he tells the story. He reflects on his life as an 11-year-old boy losing his mother, Lady Stargazer. He is not known to the elemental kingdom as human because he has the bloodline of the great mystic Stargazer. So as he reflects, the story begins when he's 11, when the entire Little People family felt they needed to go to the boy and help him out in his great time of need. Grandpa Foster worked with the great mystic Stargazer when Henry was a baby. However, Grandpa Foster heard from Eagle, who watched what happened to Lady Stargazer when she was picking berries. So what really happened? This book is about a magic timeline telescope that was inherited to him that he and his young friend Fox, they find. It can transport you through time travel to off-world planets. He gets the assistance of Papa and Mama Fox and Grandpa Foster, Eagle, and the entire Little People family when they all come together to help him understand that he really does not need a timeline telescope to create his own reality. Henry the boy loses his mother from the perspective of one timeline. So the entire story is told from a perspective of different timelines about Henry's life being raised by his mother, a family of foxes, and the loss of his parents, including his father, as his grandfather guides him to the truth of who his parents are and who he really is. Now, on one timeline, twin fairy tricksters, those river fairies I showed you, they lead goblins who pursue the mystic Stargazer after making a deal with visitors to make a life choice when they come to the in-between. But what phenomenon happens in the in-between? They also experience different timeline realities. These goblins, who are called knockers, are miners that work in a cave in Snagwood Thicket. Now, Snagwood Thicket is in the first two books as well. That is like a treacherous, dark, scary forest that is, it actually harbors entities and ghosts, and no one goes in there unless they really have to. And there's legends that say if you go in there, you'll never come out. But of course, it's not so scary for kids that they can't sleep at night. I mean, I make it well worth their reading and their interest. They have everything to do with the Lady Stargazer gone missing, and the truth is ultimately revealed. Henry the boy disappears, and the Little People, Eagle, and the foxes find a way to reach him, and they discover the timeline telescope transported him into different realities that caused his disappearance. When he returns, he sure has a few stories to tell that he feels he must pursue. Henry and his friends, Fox, Deekadu, and Trinity, discovered in the mystic Stargazer's workshop a spaceship. They decide to take it for a joyride, not knowing what they are doing to fly it. They meet many off-world beings, some good and some with bad intentions, as they create a bond of friendship and learn different ways of changing their reality by their thoughts and actions and beliefs. All reality timelines will smoothly come together in this story with surprises in the end and thought-provoking messages. This is a fun, page-turning adventure within an adventure that has a twist and an ultimate aha moment at the end. But I don't have the heart to tell you the end. So, like I said, they're definitely going to need a bookmark. So thank you for listening. And you can find this book also on Amazon. No one really knows about them. So this is like my first time coming out with them. I really did them in the hopes that kids would read them and really enjoy sinking into an adventure that, you know, is so magical. You need magic in your life, that's for sure. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye now.